Hey all, Coach Craig here. There's a fantastic book that I read when I was very young called Wishcraft. And one of the things that really impacted me was this idea of working backwards from the goal. So you envision whatever future it is that you want, and then you ask yourself, what is the very, very last step that you would engage in order to meet this goal? And then you say, okay, well, what's the step before that? And what's the step before that? And then you work backwards to where you are. And this is a fascinating mind bender, because what it does is it changes your decision space. When you start with where you are, you're thinking about options to get there that are very different than the options working backwards. And you have to put your mindset into the state of actually having achieved that goal. And so you can also use this technique when you're thinking about growing your business. So for example, if you have a particular goal for targeting a different customer base, then what you can do is you can say, okay, imagine that you have acquired one customer at that particular new offering, new price point, whatever, and you ask, what's the very last step that I would have executed in order to get there, in order to acquire that client? And then you move backwards from that, right? And then what that allows you to do is it allows you to see things in a completely different light. And so there's also one other thing you can do with this technique. Imagine for a moment that you acquired that new customer at this new level. Then what you can do from a marketing funnel perspective is you say, okay, so in order to acquire that new customer, what's the conversion rate from the last step in the process? Like right before there was a conversion to a paying customer, right? Okay. And then what's the step before that? And then you can sort of guesstimate, okay, what would the conversion rate be between like the actual payment processed for the customer and the final step in the conversion funnel, right? And then as you go back through the funnel, it allows you to see how many leads at the very top of the funnel you actually need in order to get there, assuming that you have a pretty good sense of what the conversion rates would look like at each one of those steps. So then, like, for example, if you have, one customer requires like 10, final closing processes, right? And then so you need 10 of those to get one customer. And then let's say you need 50 of the previous step, which is that they've gone through the pre-qual process. And then from there you need say 500 qualified leads. And then from the 500 qualified leads, let's say you need 5,000 at the top of the funnel, right? I don't know what your conversion rates are, but if you work backwards, then you can say, oh, cool, I just need to get 5,000 at the top of the funnel in order to get one customer. And then you just go and execute, right? But it allows you to sort of really see reality before you're walking in blind. Coach Craig out.